Hello, I'm Susan Cadeau. Thank you for being with us. Well, for the moment, the school voucher effort in Oklahoma is on hold. A controversial bill to create state-funded education savings accounts, which could be used at private schools, was pulled from consideration this week. The decision makes it highly unlikely school vouchers will become law this legislative session.
Senate Bill 560 by Senator Rob Standridge would allow parents to use a portion of the state funding used to educate their child for tuition at a private school. The measure is targeted at low-income students in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Cleveland counties, which are the state's largest by population. With the deadline to get bills out of committee this week, Standridge told colleagues he would prefer to lay it over until next year rather than see the bill loaded down with amendments.
If we're going to change this bill today and change it to something that truly won't help, then I've done a disservice to those kids that I'm trying to help.
Education savings accounts, or an education scholarship account, as Standridge referred to it in his measure, are a controversial topic. Critics, such as Senator Ron Sharp, say the accounts take much-needed funding from the public school system and put it into private or religious schools. Sharp says with the state facing an $878 million budget hole, diverting money away from public schools is the last thing Oklahoma should be doing.
We are having a trouble already with funding public education, so therefore this is legislation that is not going to benefit very many kids, and yet is going to have a tremendous economic impact on our rural schools.
Sharp's criticisms are echoed by Oklahoma Education Association President Alicia Priest.
Vouchers just erode the base of what all schools across the state get because it takes money out of what goes out to all of our schools.
Critics point out the money provided by Standridge's bill, a total of $2,700, is not enough to pay for tuition at most private schools in Oklahoma.
The voucher only covers a certain amount of the tuition, and students, parents that are working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet aren't going to be able to come up with the extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in private school tuition that the voucher doesn't cover.
Most of your private schools charge $6,000 a semester. If they would accept that entire $2,700 as stock payment, so therefore that child can go without any further dues owed, I probably would not have a problem, but that's not going to happen.
Standridge concedes that $2,700 would not pay for tuition at most private schools, but says his legislation was designed to allow students to attend a school like Positive Tomorrows in Oklahoma City, which serves students who are homeless or at risk of being homeless. Susan Ogle is president of Positive Tomorrows.
I know there's a lot of discussion about whether families in poverty can really afford private school tuition, but we'd be able to leverage our donor dollars to actually make that happen for the kids that we serve.
Ogle says the school is supported almost entirely by private donations.
We don't charge tuition for our kiddos. They wouldn't be able to afford it. But we have a very generous community here in Oklahoma City who understand the reason for what we do. They want to make an investment in the lives of these kids. They see that it's working, and so that's how we're able to keep things going right now. The fact of the matter is that we turn away children every day for lack of resources. We can serve a maximum of 74 children in this building. So far this school year, we have turned away 88 that we have been unable to serve.
Ogle says she understands the concerns of those who believe vouchers would drain resources from public schools, but insists they're not in competition with the public school system.
We want to come along beside them and turn out kids that are going to do well in the school system and do what they need to do and not cause a drain on that system. And so that's one of the reasons why we're looking at the voucher bills to see what that's going to look like.
Standridge maintains his bill is all about helping students to succeed and keeping them out of trouble.
If we don't give these kids a good education and teach them to read and allow them to have success, they're going to end up crowding our prisons. I guarantee it. And so you look at the reading scores. You don't go to college when you can't read. And with half of them failing reading, how are they going to succeed?
While Standridge believes he had the votes to send the measure on to the full Senate for consideration, he thinks it might have been tough sledding in the House. He also believes lawmakers felt pressured by the education establishment.
The sad part is the education community that are, is making up numbers and scaring rural legislators primarily, are lying in order to save the power that they have.
While the bill did not advance this week, that doesn't mean the school voucher effort is completely dead.
We could revive it in appropriations. That's been mentioned to me by Senator David. I think that's a worthwhile discussion. I'm glad to do that. I would love the members to say, you know what, Senator, as a team, you're right. We need to do this.
But Standridge admits the possibility of reviving the measure this session is remote.
I would not give it an over a 50% chance, but then I don't count anything out.